I'm glad I made it back. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do a production budget today, and we're doing it from the textbook. And I'm going to do question 4. Just want to make sure that you're okay with it. So I'm going to do your production budget, and I'm going to do your raw materials purchases budget. Now remember, the raw materials purchases budget, I can combine it with the raw materials usage budget. Just going back to the basics again. Your production budget, you're making 2 types of products. You make Jed and Ted, and what we're trying to figure out here is how many of these do you want to make. Once you know how many units you want to make, then you need to buy the raw materials. So that's why we changed this to your materials, because we want to figure out for this level of production of Jed and Ted, don't know where to get the names from, we need to figure out how much raw materials we need to buy to make these products. Okay, so looking at the question, we're looking at the units. So it says for Jed, you expect to sell 14,000. And then for Ted, it says you expect to sell 5,880. Again, these are in units. So this is what you want to sell, plus you want to have some closing stock. And it says always read the introduction, because the introduction will be where you find how to calculate your closing stock. And it says all stocks are to be reduced by 20%. Now, when you're doing the maths, okay, if you want to reduce by 20%, that means the original figure, you want 80%. So you can just multiply by 0.8, or you can do it the longer way. You can get your 20% and then subtract it. Just with accountancy, speed is going to be an issue on the accountancy paper, so you need 80%, so it's just handy just get 0.8 of that. And I'm just going to cheat 0.8 of your opening stock. Now your opening stock, again, what happens in this question, you get so much information, it's hard to know which stocks you're going to use. Just to recap here, right, this is the items that you're going to make. So if you're talking about stocks here, the stocks here have to be finished goods. Now over here, the stocks you're going to be talking about is raw materials, that's easy enough. So your finished goods, your opening stock, they said you had 840 of Jed, so you don't need to make them, so that's why we're taking them away, they're already made, and you have 630 of Ted. Now you want to have your closing stock for next year or next month, but you want it to be 20% less than this figure. So that will be 672 you want to make for your closing stock, and 504 you want to make for the closing stock of Ted. So if you add them up, you're getting 13,832 units you want to make. I'm just going to put, you don't have to put the units in, I just want to put it in just to help explain it to you. And you're going to make 5,754 units of Ted. Okay, so your production budget just basically tells you how many units you want to make to satisfy your sales, but also take into account that you want closing stock. So this, I don't know, are we doing months here? Annual. So for the year, this is how many units you want to make, and this is how many units you want to make. So then we need to know, well, how much raw materials. Now each of these products, Jed and Ted, I need material R for them, and I need material S for them. So if I'm making Jed, I'm making 13,832, 13,832. For Ted, it's 5,754. Sorry, my writing's getting bad. 5,754. Now then you need to know for material R, how much do I need for Jed and how much do I need for Ted. Now it says for Jed, material R, I need 5 kilograms. And for Ted, for material R, because that's what I'm under, I need 2 kilograms. Okay. Then material S, it says material S for Jed is 2. And for Ted, it's 5. Okay. I'm just going to get the figures from here just to speed it up again. 69,160. And for Ted, just make sure I'm using the right ones. 11,508 kilograms. Now again, they don't expect the units to be written. You're not going to get marks for the units, but I just think it's a handy thing to put in so you just remember what you're doing here. For S, 27,664. And maybe when you get more familiar with these questions, you could drop the units. And this is 28,770 kilograms. So to make this amount, these are the kilograms that you need of ore, and these are the kilograms that you need of S. So that's 80,668 kilograms. And for material S, you need 56,434 kilograms. Okay, but you know, like with your production, with your raw materials, you like to always have closing stock ready to start production in January again. So you have to take into account how much closing stock you want. And again, in the question it said you have to reduce your opening stock by 20%. So that means to get this figure, you're going to multiply by 0.8, okay, on this figure. So it says for the raw materials, it says the opening stock of raw material ore, you had 7,000 kilograms, and raw materials of S, you had 4,200 kilograms. And you already have them. Okay, I'm just putting the kilograms, so you don't need to buy them again, and that's why we're subtracting them. So you're reducing the closing stock by 20%. So that means you need to make or buy 5,600 kilograms of ore, and of S you need to buy 3,360 kilograms. So again, just when you're getting 0.8, where did I get 0.8 from? It said in the question you should reduce your closing stock by 20%. So you only want to have 80%. So you need 80% of this figure. Okay? You're getting this 0.8 off your opening stock, because you want to reduce your closing stock by 80% from what it was at the start of the year. Now again, this is how much kilograms of raw materials you're going to have to purchase. 79,268 kilograms. And for material S, you want to purchase 55,594 kilograms. Now, when we went through the other videos, I said for you, some of the budgets you only need quantity, some of the budgets you need euro. If you look at this, I want to know how many units I'm going to make. That can only be units. If you're buying raw materials, you need to know how much you're buying, and you need to know how much the raw materials are going to cost you. Remember, if you're doing your manufacturing account, the first part of your manufacturing account, you need the purchases of raw materials, so you need the euro. So you're going to have to look for the cost per kilogram. Now, you're going to be careful in your question. If you look at your question, right, it says on page 564, it gives you two costs there. It says opening stock. The cost of opening stock was 40 cents per kilogram and 90 cents per kilogram. Then underneath that, it gives you the expected price during the year is 50 cents per kilogram and €1 per kilogram. So which one do you use here? You have to use the expected price during the year. So you're going to multiply this by 50 cents. As 50 cents, or put in 0.5 of a euro. Okay, make sure you know what unit you're working with. Now, I'm actually going to take away the cent. I put it in as 0.5 of a euro. Okay, so just be careful that you know which one you're working with. So that's going to give you 39,364 would be the cost of buying material ore, and the cost of buying material S is 55,594. Okay, I want to recap just a little bit on this. This question is not complicated if you follow it step by step. The most common mistake here is this here. Where did that come from? And just to show you, that came from there, and the 5754 came from here. Okay, watch your closing stock. That's always going to be given to you into introduction, and cost per kilogram, give the one during the year. Now, some students sometimes get worried about all these headings. There's no marks going to be given for you in the words. It's all actually for the figures. Okay, so you can abbreviate, and you do need the words, but you can abbreviate the words if you want. Okay.